Hey, and thank you for joining me. My name is Revital Refaely. I'm a children's storyteller, and I also help parents tell stories to their children, read stories to their children, that it's so fun that the children prefer it from screen time. I also help parents communicate with their children by reading to them books and have general fun and create the children to become readers that they read by themselves and they love reading. So I want to share with you 3 big mistakes that sometimes parents do when they want to read to their children. And it's important because these mistakes make reading time to your children not fun, sometimes boring, sometimes a place for arguments, and kids are sometimes not interested that you read them books, and parents sometimes feel bad about it that they don't read to their children. So I want to show you how you can maybe prevent those mistakes and go in the right direction. So, mistake number 1 is that you want to read to all your children together. Now, even if you have only one child, it's okay, this is for you too. When you want to read to all your children at the same time, you say to yourself, they're very close to the age and they listen better when they are together, and sometimes it stimulates one of them to listen, and maybe it will save you time. This is what you think, but actually a lot of time the opposite is what happens. Actually, your children, they don't get the best books they could have read, okay? So, for instance, if one of them is 4 years old and one of them is 6 years old, they both need different kind of books. So it's like a compromise. You try to find a book that suits both of them. So to one it will be more childish, and for the other it will be too hard to focus. So this is one reason. The second is that it creates a lot of arguing, like I want my book to be first, or arguing, and one of them wants more explanation, the other one doesn't want. He wants you to keep on reading. So it becomes a place of argument instead of fun. Another thing is that one of the biggest things you have in reading to your child is the opportunity to be with them together, to give them your full attention. One time in the day where they don't have to compromise. They have you and you only, and you are with them. This is part of the magic of reading books. So you give them the best books that is good for their age and their interest and their tempo, and you are with them and with them alone. And this creates so much fun. This one-on-one is magic. And another thing is that if you are saying to yourself, yes, but it will take me time. What if I have 3 children? So first, I say to you that maximum you read for each child 10 minutes a day. Maximum. If the child is small, it can be less time. And second of all, and most important, it will actually take you less energy than more. And I will explain you why. When you bring each child this one-on-one attention, it reduces so many arguments, so many tension, so much time and bad behavior during the day that a lot of time is caused because they just need some attention from you and you alone, you looking at them. So it feels maybe more time, but it actually, the compound effect of a daily attention, 10 minutes a day, is amazing, and it will give you much more energy. So this was mistake number 1, wanting to read all the children together. Mistake number 2 is that you look at it as if it's a task, one of many. As a parent, you have to make them food, you have to wash your kids, you have to take them to activities, and you have to read them books. Now, when you do this, sometimes you feel it's a task, it's something you give to your children, it's not for you, you give it to your children. And maybe you're supposed to teach them. Maybe it's the place where you're supposed to prepare them for school or teach them how to read. And then this whole thing of reading to your children becomes a task, becomes something with expectations, becomes a place where you ask your children questions and they have to answer it, and they're expected to answer the correct question. So it suddenly stops becoming something fun. It's actually a task. It's actually you're trying to prepare them for something. It stopped being one of something else. Now, I want you to look at reading to your children not as a task and not as a parenting activity, but something you give to yourself, and I will explain. What if you looked at reading to your children not as a parent, not as educator, but a place to relax parenting. Now you're not a parent. You're going to have fun with them. You're going to be curious. You're going to read fun books. You're going to only read books that you like, and if there are books that you don't like to read to your children, you don't read them. It's fun. Think of it like going to the movie. If you go to the movie with your kids, you don't start teaching them, right? You just go, you buy yourself a popcorn, and you're going to dive in an adventure, right? So think of it as the same thing. Reading is not a task. It's not something you're supposed to teach them. Reading books is the activity that will remind you the fun parts of parenting, why you wanted to be a parent in the first place, okay? So, this was mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, that parents sometimes don't change the books. It's the same books again and again and again. And those books become boring. First of all, they're boring to you. And I'm saying it again and again. You have to like it. And they're boring to the kids. Books have to change according to your interests and according to your kids' interests and to your kids' age. For instance, if they are smaller, shorter books. If they are longer, longer books, chapter books. And there are so many kinds of books: picture books, story books, biography books, books that teach you stuff, art books, game books, really a lot of books, an article in the newspaper that is interesting for you. So really, just bring a lot of books. I show you how to find the best books and how to give a variety in a Zoom meeting I do, and I dive there deeper. But for now, just remember going to the library and constantly bringing every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, new books, putting them on the table and reading new books all the time. Just a second. So, do you see how if you would undo those 3 mistakes, if you would really look at reading time as a time for you to be with your children and have fun? What would happen if you do this daily? What would happen if you do this for a year? Would your children benefit from this? Would your family benefit from this? I can tell you from my experience, I think children are much more prepared to school when you are read to them every day. Think of how many books and how many letters and how many words they saw. There is much less arguing in the family. It's a calm family. It's a fun family. And it's an activity that gives you energy and not takes you energy. It reminds you the fun part of parenting. Another thing, you feel less bad, especially these times when children really see a lot of screen time because of COVID-19, because of the lockdown. We can't go out a lot. So children see so much television and screen time. And if you do this 10-minute activity a day with each child that you have, then you feel okay. You are giving them something and not only arguing with them about the screen time. So, if you like this Facebook, I've got so much more to share with you. I'm giving in just a few days a free live Zoom meeting where I dive much deeper to all this. It's called Do You Wish Your Children Would Love Reading Books With You More Than Screen Time? And I really show you how it can be fun. Plus, it's a place where you can ask, I have more time, and you can ask Q&A questions, specific questions about your situation, and I would love to meet you and help you. So I dive deeper, I show you, I read you specific books so that you know how to create conversations with your kids, how to help them become readers. A lot of stuff I cover there. So if you want to, it's free and it's in superstorybook.com/parent-live-zoom. Okay? superstorybook.com/parent-live-zoom. I will put the link underneath this video or in the title, and you can join. I really hope I see you there. Again, the link is superstorybook.com/parent-live-zoom. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you soon. Bye!